How's it going, everybody? It is I, Jacob Moore, the self-proclaimed sports analyst. And, of course, Mr. More Free Money will be joining us very, very shortly. But how's it going, everyone? And already we got the comment section chiming in here. So glad to be here, keeping it positive. Yes, I am. I am glad to be in the comment section, and we knew there wasn't going to be a sweep either way. I still feel good about this team. Let's go. And absolutely, Key, I got to agree with you. I still am feeling pretty overall positive. They just ran into a really hot pitcher. But before we get right into everything, let's remind everyone, the analyst desk, we break down plays, not people. Keep it clean, keep it classy, and remember, where every day feels like game day, there is room for every fan to have a voice. No hate speech, no bullying, just good sports talk and great debates. Always like to remind everyone that in the comment section, you know what? We're all here to have a good time. We're all here to get along. And look, we had another very, very hectic day in sports this week. We had the NHL going on. There's still games going on in the NHL currently. CFL season wrapped up. World Series Game 2. This was an absolutely crazy day in sports. But I think obviously we got to talk Blue Jays first, right? And when Dan gets on here too, we'll be able to give his thoughts. But I'm kind of I was expecting a split for the Jays. That was kind of my thought process from the beginning. Look, I would have liked to seen them. I thought early on they were getting batters on base and doing some things right. And then after that, it really slowed down. But I still overall can't really complain too much about the way this team played, right? Like, I thought Gausman had a really nice game again. So I do feel that there was some strong pitching for the Jays. They just ran into a really, really hot pitcher out of the Dodgers who pitched his second straight complete game. Like, what we saw today is not something you're going to see every single day, right? So now the Jays get a day off. They are heading back to LA. And look, this team has been resilient. I don't think getting a split here was the worst situation you could possibly get. But I do want the bats to kind of get going, right? Like, the reason why this team has been so successful this whole playoff run has been because you're getting offense from your top of the lineup, your middle of the lineup, and the bottom of the lineup. You're getting offense. So I'm just looking for more offense, right? I think this... And you know what? I'm also looking for the defense to maybe make a couple more plays. But at the end of the day, the series is tied at 1. I'm not too upset about it. And get back to the comments. I'm so glad my new profile picture is showing up. Yet you can't go wrong with John Candy. The man, the myth, the legend, and rest in peace to a beautiful man. And yeah, Key, I got to agree with you, actually. I'm not upset about the decision of going to Scherzer for Game 3. And going Bieber Game 4. Like, I thought Scherzer's last start, he looked great. And now you gotta look, the Jays, if they can at least win one in LA, they have a chance to bring it back to Toronto and get it done in Toronto. So they're not in a terrible situation. Like, I'm going to use one of my favorite John Schneider quotes without the profanity. The sky's not fallen, right? Like, you're still very much in this series. So don't feel like, oh no, we're done. We're going home. Pack it up. I'm sure Lane Dashko from wherever he's driving from. I know he was covering the Burlington Cougars versus the Mississauga Chargers, I believe the game was. I know he was out there covering that in the OJHL, Phenomenal Hockey League. Highly recommend checking it out if you haven't. But look, I'm still feeling the Jays. I said Jays in 7 at the beginning. I'm sticking with Jays at 7. I know earlier in our pregame show for kind of everything going on, we had some people in the comments saying Jays in 4. And look, I don't think realistically thinking Jays in 4 was realistic. But this Dodger team is a good team, right? They're better than the Yankees were. They're better than the Mariners were. So this is the Jays' next test. And you got to split. You absolutely got to split. David, you were a slacker tonight. I'm slicker than Key in the Night. Key in the Night. I'm sorry. They said you were a slacker tonight because you were not the first comment tonight. Jays closing it in 5. We got a confident man in the comments. King Kurt is going to drop bag. And, I will say, like, Alejandro Kirk, he's not going to like that wild pitch that got by him. It was a bad pitch from Hoffman. But again, Kirk's going to clean that up. I'm honestly not that concerned about this Jays team. Anyone who thought they were going to come in here and get a sweep, I honestly think you were a bit out to lunch. So, David saying Jays in 5. I'm still sticking with Jays in 7. I think this is going to go the distance. I think these are two very good teams that do things very differently. Today, the Dodgers long ball beat the Jays solid lineup kind of deal. That's kind of the two styles you're battling with, right? You're going with a team that can just hit bombs from pretty much any part of the order versus a team like the Jays that's more built around just getting base hits, bunts, sac flies, and getting runs that way. And today, that's just what happened, right? But as a Jays fan and as a self-proclaimed sports analyst, I'm not super duper be-duper baboo-ba-dee-be-deep concerned about how we're going here. And let's go back to the comment section. Schneider gives uncle who's more like a cousin encourages the kids to break all the rules vibe. Yes, I did. Absolutely. And look, at the end of the day, whether we agree with everything Schneider has done or not, he's got the team where they are, right? It's not like this team doesn't deserve to be here. They plowed over the Yankees. They beat the Mariners, mind you, in 7, but they got it done. They plowed over the Dodgers in game 1. Like, I think after game 1, we were overconfident from what I'm seeing on social media now, not from the comment section here, but from other sources. Now I think we're not quite confident enough. So I just think it's time to just kind of just chill a little bit if you're for the Jays and its fan base. Back to the comment section. And while my Blackhawks are actually playing great too. How are your Chicago Blackhawks doing, Mr. David? I'm gonna look and see what's going on in the NHL right now. I mean, the Leafs got a big win. So how are your Blackhawks? The Chicago Blackhawks. I'm typing that in right now because it is hard to speak and type at the same time. They play tomorrow against the LA Kings. They are coming off a nice overtime win against the Ducks. And yeah, you know what? They're starting off 3-2-2. So you know what? That's not terrible, right? So, and yes, definitely better than the last 5 seasons. Absolutely, David. I got to agree with you. So I want to take us back, though, for the Jays a little bit. And I'm even going to call myself out here a little bit. Remember when the team was 25-26 and everyone was acting like the season was over, that this team's trash? Signing Guerrero was a bad decision. He's overpaid. Blow the team up. Fire Schneider. On and on and on to the break of dawn. Well, now you're in a very different situation, right? But Jays fans are still kind of acting like they're flashing here. Maybe I'm scaring the spooky ghost of Hamilton. But look, at the end of the day, the Jays, I think some of the fans are coming back to that reaction after tonight's game. And look, I think you got to look at it. If you can get one win out of the next 3 in LA, which means you'd push it to 6. And then you're basically just got to win 6 and 7 back in Toronto again. Remember, they were down 2-0 against Seattle, going back to Seattle. And they found a way to get it done. And yeah, absolutely, David, a 500 club turning into a 700 is absolute. And yeah, I do think it maybe the lights are flickering. So I'm wearing Argo swag in a Tie-Cat zone. Who knows? But no, at the end of the day, look, the Jays are still in a decent spot, I feel like. They got the split. Going into this series, I said if they could get a split out of the first 2 games, I'd be happy. That's what they've got. So overall, I'm not feeling terrible about it. Again, I do feel Gausman had a really, really solid game. And I don't know. I'm honestly just not super concerned. You're also keeping Shohei Ohtani kind of under control, right? Again, only 1 hit at 4 at-bats. So it's not like they're beating you in that way. And this game was really close until the Dodgers kind of blew it open in the 7th and the 8th. So the Jays just got to find a way to get more guys on base. And I apologize if I mispronounce his name, but Yoshi Yamamoto just played a phenomenal game for the Dodgers, and I feel they won this game on pitching. I think if you just had an average pitching night from the Dodgers, I do think the Jays could have got this win. So I'm not super concerned, and maybe that sounds crazy, but I'm just not. But back to the comment section we go. And I can't see the Blackhawks or Leafs being a 700 team anytime soon. I think Bedard and Matthews are both turds. Well, both teams got a win recently. The Leafs got a big win against the Buffalo Sabres. Actually, we'll talk about that game a little bit, and then we'll ask Dan for his thoughts on the Blue Jays once he's able to jump on. But look, I think that Chicago is a team where I think they just got to be happy that they're seeing some progression from last season, right? Like, you are starting to see some of these players. Bedard looks like he's having a bit of a bounce back year so far. I know it's very early, but at the same time, and Connor Bedard, right? Let's keep it a buck. He had a bit of an off year last year. Right now, he's got 7 points in 8 games, and he's a +3. So if he can keep up to around that, like we'll say hit those like mid-70s in points and not be a super negative player, I think you got to be happy with that if you're a Connor Bedard fan to see that growth. And you know what? The whole Chicago roster in general, too, like Tyler Bertuzzi looking a little better than he did last year, right? With 6 points in 8 games, 2 goals, 4 assists. And you're just looking for this. I don't think Chicago is, no offense, David, I don't think the Blackhawks are by any means a Stanley Cup contender. But again, Ryan Donato, 5 goals, 2 assists, 7 points in 8 games. But I do think they're starting to have some pieces to build off of, right? I think Ryan Donato is a really solid player, coming off a 31-goal year last year, hitting the ice strong this season. And you got Connor Bedard, and you have Tyler Bertuzzi, who plays that physical two-way game within the right team, can do some damage. I remember him as a Leaf. It took him a bit to get going, but once he got going, he was that player that we really like to have. Nice to see, excuse me, nice to see him playing physical. I love my third line. Dogs, man, I can't. Yes, oh man, Seabrook and Keefe back in the day, those two guys were animals. You gotta remember, right? That Chicago team was legendary back in the day. But in my opinion, though, I do feel the Chicago Blackhawks are starting to come back around. I think I'm seeing improvements from last year. And I would say, yeah, I think they are around a 500 hockey club. If they can be around a 500 hockey club and you're just seeing that progression, I think you got to be happy with the Blackhawks, right? And keep bringing back the novels. I think Bedard is a lot more humble than Matthews, but that's just me. I still appreciate him for telling the reporters we're not going to talk about me when he broke a couple of records during the World Juniors gold medal game, saying focus on all of us. Is a humble thing that I don't think he's lost about him. You could be wrong. I actually got to agree with you there, Key. I do think Connor Bedard is a humble guy. And look, I just think of Austin Matthews. I think it's just going to take a little bit of time for this whole team to figure out the no Mitch Marner situation. And because obviously Marner's gone, and they didn't really bring someone in to replace him. But even tonight, no William Nylander, and they still found ways. Nick Robertson gets up on the board, and I thought Primo played pretty well for a third-string goaltender. And if Seabrook didn't take to get ready for it, but yeah, man, Seabrook used to be an absolute beast as a defenseman for the Blackhawks. So I think the Blackhawks being around, they can hover around a 500 record club. I think you got to be happy. But heading into the Toronto Maple Leafs today, this might sound weird, but I almost feel for Leaf Nation tonight felt like a must-win game for the Leafs. I didn't take it as a must-win personally, but I felt Leaf Nation took it as a must-win situation, and they got a big win, improving to 4-4-1. So again, around a 500 club, which I don't think is acceptable for where this team should be at. But this team never plays well in October. I want the Jays to play well in October right now. The Leafs can take October off. We'll put it that way. The Leafs heard the Green Day song Wake Me Up When September Ends and thought it was Wake Me Up When October Ends because they never seem to play that well in October. But, John Tavares with a goal and an assist, Matthew Knies 2 assists, Austin Matthews with an assist, and you're getting goal scoring from other guys in the lineup since Mercelli got another goal and Nick Robertson gets his first of the year. And again, I thought Caden Primo did his job, right? He didn't play out of this world by any means, but he didn't play terrible. But do you know who is out of this world? Someone who I'd like to introduce. Allow me to introduce myself. Yeah. Dan Moore.
Hello, everybody.
How's it going, Mr. Dan Moore?
Great. I'm very sorry. I had to take a trip to Walt Disney World. And if you follow Talking Toilet Paper World, you know what that means.
Well, Dan, you know what it was? So I'm sorry. I had to get started because I'm getting messages like, where's the post-game show? Where's
I understand. I totally get it. I'm not upset by it.
You know what? You know what really happened?
What?
Dan missed his train.
I did, 100%. What? Where's Mr. Dasco?
He's probably driving.
He's driving?
He was in Mississauga today, bud.
Oh, I
Thank
see.
you, David, very much for the like. Always appreciate the likes as well as the comments. And
Yes.
Key, you might be saying, how is anything a must-win in Week 3 in the NHL? You are not familiar with Leaf Nation. They are already extremely panicking, so I felt it was a bit of a win just to kind of...
Are we talking Leafs or Blue Jays at the moment?
Right now, we've been talking some Leafs, but Dan, I do want your thought. We've already been talking some Jays. We've been talking some Leafs. We've been talking some Chicago Blackhawks.
Oh, interesting. Okay, I will say with the Maple Leafs, I give Jake McCabe a lot of credit. That KO punch was awesome. Oh, good, Lane. Take your time eating your soup.
Finishes his soup. But Lane, the bigger question, is it chicken noodle? And are you eating it while watching Stuart Little?
No, he's watching us. I mean, it sounds like Jack Campbell's back in Toronto. We're eating soup. I mean, hey, I give Jake McCabe a lot of credit for the knockout. I mean, I guess they fought because of his hit, but still, he still did that. So give him credit for that.
Dan, apparently you have a punishment. You got to call Big Buff, so good old Dustin Bufflin. He's going to hit you with a wooden spoon.
Out. Well, you never know. I could be into that, but that's not my cup of tea personally.
But
no judgment, though. Not my cup of tea
Dan,
personally.
Good evening from David.
Good evening. Yeah, hello, nappy nap.
And yeah, if Matthews were to shut the up, we wouldn't even hear his name. Yeah, I do honestly agree with you. Like, there are in Matthews' interviews, he is frustrating. And thank you for censoring yourself. That makes my job much easier.
I mean, we gotta take off the captaincy of Captain Underpants. I mean, 1 year that it fell. One reason why the whole thing fell apart was because.
Hey, talking about his feelings towards the Toronto Blue Jays.
Hey, let me say this straight up. Like I said it last night, we all agreed. If the Jays end up losing in 5, which I don't think they will, I think they'll win one game in LA. But if the Jays end up losing in 5, I still think this year is a huge success. You went from minus 20 games under 500 to 20 games over 500 to winning division, going past the wild card, winning the division. I mean, this is still a great team.
I just brought a comment back from David a while ago, Dan, because David's calling the opposite of what you're saying.
Jays closing in 5?
I mean, Jays will win in 5. Is his prediction.
I mean, anything's possible, right? I think the key for the Blue Jays is to start battering more against the starting pitcher. Because even last game, the game was very minute until LA started using their bullpen. I say the day won the Jays in 7, so that's what I'm still kind of feeling.
7, Lane. I can't wait to hear your thoughts once you're done eating all that soup. But I don't feel this is a postmortem situation for the Blue Jays yet.
Not yet.
Look, as I said it before, Yamamoto just pitched his ass off, and we can say that at the desk.
Yeah, it's
I
just
feel that at the end of the day, the Jays just ran into a really hot pitcher, and now let's see what happens. You know what? Let's see what Monday's game's like before we start to hit the panic button. Because as I've said, you got to remember this: the Jays only need to win one game in LA coming up.
the key is, like I was saying, is to just take the starting pitcher out of the game early and get to the bullpen. Because even in game one, the game was minute until the bullpen came in for the Dodgers, right? Today, the game was minute because we never saw the bullpen for the Dodgers. Well, they battled more pitches off the starting pitchers. We would have seen the bullpen come in.
And
yeah, I can see the Ticats winning the whole thing.
And Jays are both taking the cup. Man, it's going to feel like the 90s.
I know, like 1999 all over again.
Jays got spanked.
See, Lane, I'm wearing a hat for you. See, I'm wearing Ticats hat.
I disagree with you. I don't feel the Jays got spanked. I thought that LA had 2 good innings.
Yeah, I don't think the Jays got spanked. They only lost by 4. I mean, you know.
Lane, if you were trying to be positive, you're failing right now.
Oh, come on, bud. You can do better than that. I got faith in you.
And David is sticking with Jays in 5. That was actually slow defense. Look, I just don't think it's time to hit the panic button yet. The Jays need to win to push it to 6. They got to win one game in LA.
Yep.
That's very doable.
I think so.
If you can win 1 out of 3 in LA, you take it back to Toronto for game 6 and 7 in front of a sold-out crowd at the Sky Dome.
You got Mad Max starting in game 3. I think Mad Max is going to have a really good game.
I'm all for using up the young boys to get their spunk and let the dogs come out in the late innings. Yeah, like,
yeah.
I'm actually, you know what, personally, we were talking about this earlier in the show too, Dan. I think all of us are feeling pretty good about Max Scherzer starting game 3.
That's what I'm saying.
Veteran coming in there to try to settle things down. And then you know what? The team's just going to go from there, right?
Yeah.
I really do feel we could be talking very different by Monday evening.
Yeah, like this team, they have the most comeback wins like in history. Like, you know, against Seattle, they were down by 2, right? And they came back, and we're tied at 1. You know,
and apparently, Max Scherzer wouldn't even need a spoon; you would just be running.
I would be.
James regretting buying a ticket for the watch party.
I want the ticket for the watch party. Well, can I just have your ticket, then?
Then get one, Mr. Morfor.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I apologize, Key. I didn't mean to miss your comment about the Bruins. Bruins fans don't say the season's over until it's officially more officialer than official. It's just funny that we're all Original 6 fans, that this chat is so far different types of fan bases. Absolutely, Key. Like for example, Dan, you've already been going on this Leaf team's terrible.
Yeah.
Yet we're in week 3.
100%. I
I
expect more from the Maple Leafs than the other franchises.
I don't really evaluate a team until I'm into November.
Because we knew this coming in this season, we were down by a bunch by losing Mitch Marner, getting nothing for in return.
You got Nicholas Waugh, who's a good player.
I get that, but you lost a franchise player for a debatable third-line center, okay? It was a bad move, let's be honest. And then they replaced him with this Matias guy I never heard of and don't like.
Take the ball from the man with the face and emotion. You best find a new team, and I love that. Yeah, absolutely. Look, I really think Mad Max is going to have a big game in game 3. And I'm going to say this. If he comes out and struggles a bit, you have Chris Bassett in your bullpen, who I think can give you 3 or 4 really solid innings, who's I think has been one of the best guys coming out of the bullpen. And I know Varland's going to want another crack at it to improve.
Call me a little crazy. I think
I do agree, David. It's always so tough to see Vladdy and Kirk just getting so emotional.
Call me crazy.
You guys are trying so hard to win these games.
I know. Call me crazy. I would have liked to see Kevin Gausman in a bit longer. You know, not that foolhardy, not that Varland played bad. I played pretty good overall, but I would have liked to see Gausman at least finish the 7th inning.
You know what? I kind of understood why they did the decision when they did. He had just let off 2 solo home runs between 3 batters. I mean, and you felt his stuff just wasn't locating the way you really wanted it to. And yeah, Mad Max gives that Sean vibes. Yeah, he is like he's just, I absolutely love the vibes of Mad Max. He's just one of those guys.
Oh, for sure.
And then Key's calling out Yamamoto. Yeah, you know what? Everyone's been targeting Springer in tight since he hurt his knee. And you know what?
It's not right.
Sorry guys, I'm kind of the other opinion. At the end of the day, it's like you're trying to win a playoff game, and I'd want the Jays pitcher to do the exact same thing the other way around, running in tight. You're trying to win.
Okay.
In hockey, Dan, if you know a player's got a bad ankle, you're slashing it.
Well, right? Hockey's a little different. I've said this about
in football. If you know the quarterback, let's say he's got a bad hip, every time you're trying to sack him, you're trying to make sure you hit that hip. When
baseball's like football. I've said this in the past. I'll say this again. Baseball, football is a fight. Hockey's a war. That's the difference. In hockey, you look at McCabe today with the KO knockout after he headshot the Sabres guy. Okay, in hockey, you try to kill your opponent. In baseball and football, it's still a gentleman's sport.
I personally don't agree with you.
That's okay.
I think in playoffs, you do whatever it takes to win. You do whatever it takes. Break the kid. Couple bad balls. Jacob's 100% right. And say, thank you, David.
I would like to see it happen. I just don't think they would do it.
Hurt you. Don't hurt me. But
don't hurt me either.
You know what? Two could play at the same game. If they're throwing some of those to Springer, there's no reason why we can't go to Shohei Ohtani and throw a 98-mile-an-hour fastball pretty damn close to the knees.
I agree. I just don't think we're going to do it. I really don't.
Like, I'm sorry, but at the end of the day, you're trying to win a World Series.
Yeah, I agree with you. I just don't see the Jays doing it.
Yeah, as a fourth liner, David, absolutely. I can't put the comment on the screen, but that is your job, is to take the person out when it comes to hockey.
Yeah, 100%. That's why I'm saying hockey's a war and more so than a fight, right?
He disagrees with you. Saying baseball's more like a war because it's more about intelligence and actual hits.
That's very true, too. Baseball is a lot of math and a lot of strategy, unlike hockey. Well, I know hockey, there's some strategy. I'm not disputing that. But, like, baseball, you have, like, some teams will have mathematicians on a team, right? I mean, you'll see that on a hockey team.
All I'm saying is there's no reason why we can't Shohei Ohtani scream a little bit.
No, I agree.
We got to give a round of applause.
Oh, for soup. The soup is done. Was the soup hot at least? Mr. Dasco, like I said to Jacob, I'll tell you, if you know what it means, you know what it means when we're talking toilet paper roll. I was at Walt Disney World. That's why I was late.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
But you know, I still think at the end of the day, what's up, Lane Ball?
Lane Ball, that's a good name for you. I like that. Where's our name keys, Jacob?
Wait, I keep taking them off, so Jacob's going to kill me one of these days.
Sometimes they just don't show up. There we go. Bob's your uncle. Maybe he is. Maybe he isn't. Where's your light, Dan? You're looking like you're in the great.
Yeah.
Place.
Oh, shots fired.
But
bum, 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 bum.
Well, Lane, I before we move off the Jays, I do want your thoughts. I saw in our group chat you're not feeling very confident.
He never does, though.
That's true.
Lane feels about the Blue Jays as I feel about the Maple Leafs.
No, I'm just disappointed. It's not that I don't want them to. It's just such a hard team to beat, and you know, when you have a team that hasn't played in over a week, you know, you got to try to jump on it when they're cold. You know, this is a team that once they get hot, I feel like they're going to become pretty much unstoppable. And I don't know, I just feeling, you know, you had the bases loaded in the first inning, and after that, it was just kind of poo-poo.
But Mr. Dassel, like I said, since you weren't here when I pointed this out, let's rewind a little bit and do some mathematician here, because that's key point how baseball is all about math. The Blue Jays did nothing in game one until they chased out the LA starter, got the bullpen, right? Today, we did nothing because we didn't chase the starter out of the game. So I'm saying with game two, you know, Chase will foul balls, make the pitcher pitch
What's up,
the game. the ball fast to get him out of the game as soon as possible. Because you can get for starters out of the game. The LA's got better starters than the Jays. We all know that. The Jays don't have, and no disrespect to Kevin Gausman or Matt Scherzer or Yasavitz or any of the boys, but none of them can do 100 pitch games, 100 mile hours doing 9 innings. None of them can do that, right? What we're better at is our bullpen. Even though our bullpen has been shaky throughout the year, they still get the job done. You got Chris Bassett, who's amazing, who not even should be a bullpen pitcher. That's another story. You got Sergio Dominguez, who's got out some sticky situations for us since the trade. You got Fruhardy, who's arguably one of the best trades made this trade deadline out of any team, right? You got Fruhardy, who's young, who's been really good. Even Fisher looked okay tonight. Little, we won't talk about Little. But besides of that, we got a very good bullpen, right? I'm probably forgetting of a few guys.
The only thing that really puts like a bunch. The only thing that really puts flour in my coffee, because I can't even say the word that I want to say right now, because I don't want us to get taken. The only thing that really puts flour in my coffee is that you guys went on there last night after game 1, and you guys literally danced on the grave when the game wasn't over. And this is the thing that this team hasn't done all season. And all of a sudden, they were dancing and jumping around like it was all over, like they were the Hamilton Ticats. Few weeks in when they were saying, "It's in my veins, it's in my veins." I'm like, you guys haven't done that all season, and yet here you are jumping around and going, "Oh, we beat the Dodgers! Let's go! It's over!" Going on Fox News and going everywhere and being like, "I don't even need the shirt. I don't care."
Do what?
Lane, there's a comment calling you out so much we can no longer see your face. Buddy, this isn't going to be a sweep. And hey, here's what I told my dad. When we were getting it out of our system, we delivered 11 runs. When the Dodgers need to get it out of their system, they bring in 4 in an inning, but not a grand slam.
Correct.
I think each team needs to get their emotions out of the system by firing on all cylinders, and we did it better than them.
That's a great point.
I'm going to be real here. I am in the middle of Lane and Key like a beautiful sandwich. And that would be a very dashing sandwich. But I don't think the Jays are done.
I didn't like how they acted after game 1.
But the Blue Jays have always been like that. They clinched a playoff spot, and then they acted like they won the World Series.
Well, that's what I was going to say, right?
Acted like they won the World Series. Then they beat the Yankees and acted like they won the World Series. Then they beat the Mariners and acted like they won the World Series. This is just the way this team runs. And whether I like it or not, they're in the World Series with a So
you took the words on my mouth.
It really doesn't matter because it's worked. What I don't like, I don't like it when a team does these things and then they don't get anywhere with it. The J season is 1,000% of success at this point.
100%.
So I just talk to me in a couple after maybe games 3 and 4, and then I'll see if I'm singing a different tune. I do think between games 3 and 4, they got to win at least one of them because I think it's going to be tough for the Dodgers. I think it's going to be tough for the Jays to win 3 straight against the Dodgers, right? Like I think between game 3 and 4, you got to win one to at least guarantee a game 6 in Toronto. And then you just got to win your games at home because you have home field. That's my 2 cents. Excuse me. That's my 2 cents. Don't tempt me, says Key. Except I want Dan as the other bread. Lane's got a girlfriend, so he would not. That's very true. But I feel I'm allowed to be in a Lane sandwich. I will not ban you, Key. Don't worry. I am the one who brought up the sandwiches.
Friesens aren't my cup of tea.
Besides, okay.
Well, that's what we're talking about, isn't it?
I mean, I know I'm crazy and just emotional.
No,
but...
Lane, to be honest, more people are feeling the way you're feeling, but I'm just not feeling that, right? Everyone said I'm going to
strikeouts. Come on.
I totally get what you're saying, Lane. And in most situations,
You didn't
I
hit a
agree
ball
with
in the
you.
third
I
inning.
think
You literally
the
didn't hit a
Blue
ball
Jays.
from the third inning to the rest of the game.
But guys,
No,
didn't
not
all
that.
say as
But
much
I
as the
mean, I
Jays
agree
got
with you in the
split?
sense that the Blue Jays are way over celebrating. I personally do not like that style. I like the style of Seattle. Hey, it's not done till it's done. However, look who won that series, right? The Jays have been doing this. The Jays have been doing this all year. So I can't really argue what we're doing because it's working. Do I agree
Like-
with it? No. Would
Well,
I
boys,
do it? No.
But
Like, I don't
guys,
think it's-
working.
but
I
I
don't
want to say, going into this series, we said the Jays bare minimum needed a split.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's what they got.
Here we are.
So at the
Again,
end
I
of the
think
day, it
didn't
doesn't
get
matter
blown out.
if you win by 10 runs or 1 run.
And we didn't
Oh,
get blown out.
A win is a win.
I'm
So let's just see how they do on Monday
Yep.
and see how they do on Tuesday. If they can split out of the next 2, they're in good shape.
Good news is the Jays are in California. That's a nice time of year being in California. No one's arguing that.
California, rest in peace.
I'll take a trip to California right now.
Lane is trying to say something like a good little student. So Lane,
I got one last opinion on this, and then I'm done for the night for the day. One more thing. No more saying we don't need you to show out time, because I think that's disrespectful. Saying that you don't need him. Well, you probably do.
We don't need you.
100% disagree with you, Lane, because I think Shohei Ohtani so far has not showed up at all in this series.
But another thing I didn't like. I didn't
Got
like
one hit.
You got a home run. What do you mean?
He's got
Got
one
home
hit.
run in game 1. Got a home run in game 1.
Okay, so he's got 2
Also-
hits. Yippee.
I didn't like Barger disrespecting David Ortiz with the shirt and acting like it's a big deal. Like, you never heard of a jersey swap before? Come on, bro.
I'm not wearing another team's jersey in the middle of a
You don't
playoff.
have to wear, but you
series
can always
either.
take it home and not disrespect the poor guy. Made him look silly.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's a
I thought
legend,
it was
bro.
a weird move by David Ortiz in general, to be honest. But
Jacob, if you're telling me that, I don't know, a team we hate the most. If Cole Caulfield came up to you and was like, Jacob, I like the analyst test. Here's a free jersey. I know you're a Leafs fan. You'd be like, okay, thanks. Throw it in, then turn around like throw
different
it in the garbage.
situation.
What
than
am
a
I
guy in a
wearing right
playoff
now,
series.
Lane, as an Argo fan?
Different than
What am I
being in a
wearing?
playoff series. I'll put it this way: if I was in a playoff series and I was asked to put on a jersey for a different
You
team,
didn't ask him to put it on, though. You
or if
didn't
I
ask
was
him to
given
put it
to it, I wouldn't take it. And in that moment,
What am I
personally,
wearing?
I wouldn't. That's just my 2 cents, which gets rounded up to 5 because we.
Hey,
don't believe
what?
in tennis
Since we're
in
wrapping
Canada.
up the Jays talk, we had a cool video sent to us from a loyal Blue Jay fan and fan of the show. Maybe we should play it, Jacob.
Oh, Dad, I don't have it loaded in here.
You can't just click the link?
No, let's
on.
check
Oh.
my phone. You silly goose.
I didn't
But if you
know.
want to check out that awesome video, head over. It's been posted on our TikTok and our Facebook and our Instagram.
Yeah.
So you can check it out there. All
Mhm.
at the analyst desk. But we got to catch up on some comments here. Dan, just because I'm not Tavares, okay, fine. I guess I'll never compliment your smile ever again.
No, I love JT of the Six. It's William Nylander. I got my man quest on.
Lane has had his finger up for like a year. That is true. Lane waited very patiently, and I was very
He
impressed.
did. Yes.
And we should never wrap up Jay's talk. Let's keep talking about it in our sleep.
I agree with that. Let's keep talking about it.
Look, at the end of the day, though, and I do want to comment a little bit on the Shohei Ohtani situation. I think Ohtani disrespected the entire nation from what he did on coming here, taking the private jet, taking the tour, taking the swag, basically saying he's signing here. Just kidding. And then in the media smirking while he tells his interpreter to say Toronto was a great city.
Okay,
I
let's
kind
be
of look at
honest.
it both ways. I think there's been disrespect on both sides.
If you're from Japan and you're coming to North America, would you rather go to Toronto, California? Let's be honest there. In the
It doesn't
summer.
matter. What I'm saying is,
California,
I don't think he had
yeah.
any intention on signing in Toronto,
No,
and I
of course
think he
not.
was just. I don't know. I just kind of look at it too. At the end of the day, when you are being paid millions upon millions of dollars, fans can yell for the most part whatever they want, like no racial slurs and disgusting stuff like that. But
Yeah.
yelling, "We don't need you," you're being. If someone wants to pay me $700 million and they can scream, "We don't need you" at me,
I'll take the money.
I'll take the money. They say more money, more problems. We'll bring on the problems because I got a phone bill that's due tomorrow. Let's go.
Exactly.
But
Lane,
to make you feel slightly better, your Hamilton Tiger Cats are hosting the Eastern Conference Finals, baby.
They got the bye.
How does that make you feel? Are you getting 1999 vibes?
No, I'm just kidding that I'm going to get my heart broken.
Because the playoffs are set. Saskatchewan and Hamilton, the byes. Calgary, BC hosting the Calgary Stampeders.
Did the BC
Montreal
Lions win today?
hosting the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
Did my Lions win at least today? Did Nathan Rourke do good?
Your Lions won. Nathan Rourke played phenomenal.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that'll cheer me up. That might cheer me up.
I can't wait for VA versus Rourke in the playoffs.
Okay, you know what's going to cheer me up? This is the only thing that's going to ever cheer me up ever. Dan wearing that Nathan Rourke shirt at the end of the year.
Hey, I'm wearing a Tiger Cats. Come on.
No, I need to see Nathan. I need to see a whole episode. I need to see a whole episode of Dan wearing a Nathan Rourke jersey. Be like, Nathan Rourke's the best quarterback in the CFL. Then I'll never be sad again because I can just watch that every day. Come on, Jacob. Tell me that's not going to be great content.
It will be absolutely hysterical. One more thing about the Jays, but it's more music. No. I can't deny I do love the Jonas Brothers. I actually thought a performance in the 6th inning and then a 7th inning stretch is kind of what took Gausman out of this game, to be completely honest.
Wait a minute.
I thought it was stupid.
They had a band playing in the middle of the inning?
In the 6th inning before it started.
Why?
To justify
the cow, I guess. I don't know.
$20,000 to watch a baseball game.
Okay, that's dumb.
But the Jonas Brothers are a great band. They did a great job at the Grey Cup a couple years ago, and yeah,
I absolutely skipped them when I went to. I was at the Grey Cup.
You shouldn't have. I watched it. I watched it on TV. Vancouver. It was a good concert.
I like Green Day though. That was a really good concert.
But look, I'm gonna say this though. Let's quickly send some thoughts and prayers and good vibes to Chris Streveler.
Oh yeah, it's sad to watch.
Had another brutal non-contact. But the same knee where he tore 3 ligaments last year, he had to be helped off the field and needed crutches.
Yeah,
he can't walk. He can't put any pressure on that leg, basically. I think his season's done. That has not been confirmed anywhere whatsoever. I'm just saying.
I think his career might be done.
And I'm going to say this too. This is an absolutely massive hole in Winnipeg's offense. I know he can't throw a football, but you have so many running packages with Chris Streveler. It's going to be a lot harder now to beat Montreal because I didn't think Terry Wilson, he didn't look great.
No.
I know Winnipeg got the dub, but I didn't think he looked great.
Also kind of a hard game to compare him in because you are resting a lot of your starters, right? He might look better if he wasn't on the field as long with Willie Jefferson as a defense. He might look better as Brady Oliveira as a running back, so kind of a hard game for him at Judson.
Sure. But at the end of the day, I think it's a huge hole for Winnipeg to fill, right? Yeah. So, and it's not going to be easy for Winnipeg taking on Montreal. But Lane,
now we're past trade deadline, so now you can grab someone.
But Lane, I will talk to you, read you a stat line you're going to love from Nathan Rourke. So, by the way, Saskatchewan played a lot of their defense still in this.
Surprising.
23 for 28, 368 yards. 3 TDs.
Damn.
1 pick.
Okay.
But the pick was a terrible throw, by the way. But besides that, he played incredible.
Any rushing yards for Nathan Rourke?
He had 5 rushing yards on 1 carry. But
is he pretty much locked for MOP this year? It's got to be.
It's going to come down to him and Bo Levi Mitchell.
I like Mills, but that's me.
Funny enough, I actually think I could actually make the case for Bo Levi Mitchell.
Oh, I can too. He's got more yards
over Nathan Rourke. But he's saying Winnipeg straight up needs to shop QBs in the offseason.
go to the hospital if he has ice in his veins. That's not good.
Yeah.
Somebody call 911.
If ice in your veins, you should probably go see a doctor immediately.
But yeah, Key, I really do hope Kaliros doesn't have any more concussion problems going into the playoffs. And hopefully he's going to be all good. But Winnipeg needs them if they have a chance of beating Montreal in these playoffs. But I will say, though, on a positive note for Saskatchewan in that game, before Trevor Harris was pulled out of this game, he did go 10 for 11 and 112 yards.
Yep.
So he looked phenomenal.
How about with Jake Mayer?
16 for 24, 154.
Yeah, I thought he looked okay.
He did throw a pick, but from what I watched in this game, truthfully, I was flipping back and forth between the Jays and this.
Well, I thought I was acting, right?
X-Go, give it to him! Thank you.
I
I think I scared Lade. I always forget that Lade wears headphones. And
Now
like,
I'm deaf and sad. And now I'm sad because I'm deaf.
but
Just as
But
I
no,
was
like,
trying to cheer up.
I'm super excited that the CFL playoffs are set.
Yeah.
We know who's playing who. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little sad that none of the teams that I really like are in it. Because I'm a Toronto, obviously I'm an Argo fan, even though we were terrible this year. I really became an Edmonton fan this season. I love the way they play.
Well,
And I've always liked Ottawa. Ottawa, Lane, I can't remember if you were on the desk with us and we were chatting about Bob Dice being fired.
No, it was not. But
But Bob Dice has been fired, which is about time. And we also hearing in Edmonton, Key, sorry, you're not going to like this, but Elks coach says that his main goal is to re-sign Cody Fajardo
100%.
for next season.
Well, no, really?
Really?
And I also, it looks like, I don't think we're ever going to see Trey Ford play a game for Edmonton again, but we'll talk about that more in the post-mortem shows.
I said Trey Ford to go to Ottawa.
But I think it'll be interesting to see. But we know the playoffs now, and I want to ask, we're not going to break down these series too much yet, but what's a series that you're really looking forward to the most out of these semifinals?
Can you show it on the screen for me?
I can.
It's not loading in the system lane.
Does it have to be? You can share the screen, though.
Oh, Jacob, why can't you share the screen of my video then?
Because I'll do anything for Lane.
Oh.
And that video's kind of outdated.
Now that should be. Now that should.
Out.
So we got who's coming over the crossover? Looks like it's
Winnipeg. So we have BC versus Calgary, Montreal versus Winnipeg.
And BC gets home field, right?
Yes, they do.
Montreal gets home field against Winnipeg.
When does it start? Like next week?
Saturday night's all right.
Yeah, Calgary versus BC is going to be legendary. I'm not sure.
That's going to be an amazing game. That's the matchup we were all hoping for.
By the way, I was right. I guess we better kiss any chance of wide receiver goodbye because his main goal will be to let Victor slip from the cracks.
Out. Oh, boy.
David, if you want to rap battle me anytime, I will bring up a diss track. You know it. You know where I go. So, Layton, but you're the most excited for Calgary, BC.
Yeah, I'm sure Winnipeg is not that exciting.
I will say, just to argue to Lane's point, because that's why people watch the decks, like a good argument. The Montreal versus, the Montreal versus Winnipeg game, I think is going to be better than what people attend. Because don't forget, 2 years ago, that was the Grey Cup matchup. So, and Winnipeg did lose against that Grey Cup, which they were heavily favorites to win. So I think there is some heated rivalry there. You know, they don't like Son Lemon whatsoever. So I think there's some heated rivalry there. So
look, I'm going to say this right here, right now. And
let's put it this way. If I had the money, I would go to Montreal to watch that game. I think
maybe we will. But I'm going to say this right here, right now. If Montreal does not beat Winnipeg in the playoffs, the season's a failure.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
You're undefeated with Davis Alexander at quarterback. I get your records are the same, but I don't feel the talent level is even close.
No, not at all. Not
Like I
at all.
don't I look, I think straight up Winnipeg borderline I don't even think is a playoff team. I think they got lucky that Edmonton and Toronto took too long to figure it out. Look, I personally think this Winnipeg team is not very good. I'm not expecting a lot of big things from them in the playoffs. I'm expecting Montreal to kind of dummy them. But I could also see Davis Alexander pulling a Chad Kelly 2022 and completely falling apart since he hasn't lost a game as a starter yet.
The only advantage is he's playing at home in Montreal versus Chad Kelly was on the road with Montreal.
Nope, Chad Kelly was in Toronto, Dan. We saw that game live and in person, unfortunately.
Oh, that game. I've been at the game he broke his leg, but they won that
He didn't
game.
fall apart in that game. Well, I mean, he did physically fall apart.
Yeah, physically.
I mean,
but
Key is really upset about them going after trying. I don't understand the Key. No offense, Key. We love you at the desk, but what's your hatred towards Cody Fajardo? If Cody Fajardo was your starter from game one, you would be in the playoffs instead of Winnipeg. And I believe that wholeheartedly.
He won the Grey Cup. I get Trey Ford's a good-looking guy, and I get he's got a good talent level. Huh.
Yeah, I don't think David shots fired.
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
I can also see Rempe chicken punching. Oh, we all know Rempe loves.
Rempe versus McGrattan back with the legendary fight. Holy cow! People that don't know who McGrattan is, he's an old tough stick with the Ottawa Senators about 10 years ago. Holy cow! That would be a fight. Wow. I love Rempe, but he hasn't fought for legendary fighters from like 10, 20 years ago. Well, that would be a matchup. I would pay to watch that matchup. Wow, that would.
But look, I do agree with you, Lane. No, I think out of the games in the first round of the playoffs in the CFL, BC Calgary is the one that really gets me excited.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
I think that game's going to be phenomenal. I can't wait to see VA versus Rourke head-to-head to playoff game. David, I do agree. Fighting in the NHL has changed drastically from what it used to be.
I think he's talking about that fight between Rempe and Weevo the other day in Rangers against San Jose. That was by far the best fight of the year. But it's kind of sad that was the best fight of the year. Not that it was a bad fight. It was a good fight, but it doesn't compare to what we are used to back in the olden days, right? Unfortunately, we'll never see those days again. So many enforcers, rest in peace, died off, right? And the arguments is, with their brains and concussions and all that. So I understand we're trying to keep the game a little safer, but boy, I miss those fights.
Back to the comment section. Sorry, I was reading something else here. Very, very interesting about, which I think this will be more for the Edmonton Out Postmortem show, but it's his overthinking that monopolizes when he's hot. And this is about Cody Fajardo here. When he's hot, but when he's nervous, he's only starting QB that overthinks everything. So I don't love having the 14-year-old Goff as a QB.
Oh, ouch.
Look, I look at the end of the day, Cody Fajardo has won a Grey Cup and an MOP. I think Edmonton's either got to stick with Fajardo or call Toronto and be like, what will it take to get either Kelly or Arbuckle over here? Like, I think you either got to go outside of the roster and find a new guy.
Or you bring Brown.
I don't think Trey Ford's an option anymore.
Oh, Dustin Crum from Ottawa. Because Ottawa's not going to stick with both those guys.
Dusty Crum? The Dustinator?
I like him. I love Crum.
Reeves is 35-6-0, and he whooped that kid. I haven't seen that
fight. That was a legendary fight. Like, I honestly
have you seen this fight, Lane?
No.
Oh, you gotta look it up. Oh, do it. Find it and play it on here. It's that good.
If I do that, we'll get shut down off YouTube.
Oh, whatever. I honestly feel like that.
Who cares if people can't see the show?
I honestly feel like after last year, Reeves was done. But after him watching fight Rempe like that, Reeves is showing why he deserves to be in the NHL. He's making a comeback. So, very nice to see. Oh, yeah, McGrattan. Holy cow. He was one of my favorites. I love that guy. Hopefully he's doing well. And that's the thing. That's why I talk about the difference between hockey being a war and baseball and football being a sport, right? Like, don't get me wrong, there's hatreds in the other sports, but we're never going to see fights like Weevil and McGrattan in like baseball or football ever. Like, they literally try to.
Okay, but Dan, you will never see hits in hockey the way you do in football to that same extent.
Oh, I wouldn't. For enough for playing, I think you would.
Not any, Dan. In football, you were snoring during football and the World Series. I don't know how you do that, but like,
yeah, wait now.
We were literally watching people get like not barely being able to stand up in that game today between Saskatchewan and BC.
Oh, I get it, but gotta admit, Jacob, like some of the old.
Yeah, absolutely, David. That was really sad of Richardson when his daughter around David and mine's age who committed suicide from bullying, and that's always the worst. I gotta say that is on an all serious note. That's like one of the worst things you can do is to bully people to the point that like they feel that way, which is why we always talk about it at the start of the show. Which I think it is a good point for any new viewers on the show who's jumping in now, just to be respectful, right? Keep it clean, keep it classy. Remember, we want no hate speech, no bullying. We're just here for good sports talks and good debates. And when I say sports talks, we talk about random stuff too. But David, I think that's a great point you made just to kind of remember to bring it back that, look, these things do happen and let's make sure we're being respectful to everyone.
Yeah, 100%. Totally agree.
And Richardson was an absolute monster, though, and it's great that him and Neil still run the whole charity today. That's just phenomenal.
They're both great guys, those two. I mean, Richardson was a Maple Leaf a little bit at the end of his career. They got him a trade deadline. Luke Richardson, great heavyweight, set down, old school defenseman. And you don't really see defensemen like that anymore in NHL. I would say the closest would be like Luke Sen. Oh, people will laugh at me, but Eli Labuskin, I get he's Russian, but he's phenomenal set-down defenseman. Sam Benoit for the Leafs, I can see him working his way up to that style, you know. I think Brandon Carwell was supposed to be that style. He was in Boston. He hasn't quite got there for Toronto yet. And Neil, again, was just one of those legendary old-school fighters. I mean, those fights between Neil and Domi back in the Ontario rivalry series. So Neil and Tucker, wow, yeah, they were incredible.
But I just do a comment here, and because I can do that. And this is an interesting quote from Mark Killam today. I feel like Trey Ford could play quarterback in the CFL. If it's here, so be it. If it's not, maybe a fresh start is good for him. I know we did learn from watching Cody, the way he conducted himself on a day-to-day basis in practice and meetings. I know it's beneficial.
I agree with that. I don't think Trey Ford's career is over.
I
really think Trey Ford has. I'll call it here. I'll call it now. I think Trey Ford has to go to Ottawa. That's what has to happen.
But I'm saying, do you think that means Trey Ford is done in Edmonton?
Oh, 100%.
What are your thoughts on that, Lane?
I agree with you guys, to be honest.
And personally, I think Trey Ford's going to Winnipeg.
Yeah, I can see that.
And yeah, man, Domi and Neil, they were both 5'9", but they were absolute tanks. Although Max Domi has not been playing that well this year, I got to say. I've been disappointed in him.
He'll step it up. Give him time. He'll step it up. I'm not worried about Max Domi.
I don't believe so because they can cut his salary. Yeah, they can cut it. They can just cut him and be done with his salary. You got to remember, Trey Ford's getting paid around $300K. Yeah. Which in the CFL, that's actually a lot of money.
He's not going to get that much money.
It's also a lot of money to me. So if you want to pay me $300K, I'll let you yell at me. You can throw a chair at me. I will take.
You can hit me with a wooden spoon for $300K.
I'll take Lane out on a nice date. If Trey Ford is leaving, can we afford Crum as a backup? I do wonder if Ottawa is going to move.
That's what I'm saying. The swap.
He might become available.
Trade Ford for Dustin Crum and call it a day.
The way I was listening to some, and again, we'll talk way more about this when we break down those full seasons. But the way I was hearing from some post-mortem interviews from Ottawa, it sounds like they're sticking with Drew Brown.
Really?
Yeah, it sounds like Drew Brown's the guy.
2-7. Wow.
And yeah, it's what David saying too, though, right? You grab 3 middle plane players for his salary and put $300K on the cap. Yeah, absolutely. And that's kind of what we've been 100%. Saying with Chad Kelly in Toronto. And now potentially Trey Ford in Edmonton.
And I
Ford
love
was
Chad
listed as
Kelly.
the third string quarterback yesterday, whatever day the game was. Too many
Yeah, I
days.
know the days one.
Guys, I
We're
work too many
midnight now in
hours.
Ontario, so it's a different day. We're Sunday
It's
now,
a new
technically.
dawn. It's a new day. It's
So
a new
NFL
time.
Sundays here, everyone.
But I will say I'm excited for what's to come in the CFL. We will do full CFL playoff preview shows. Actually, when you mentioned the Argos, I will say this quickly. I would absolutely love it if the Argos went out and got Dustin Crum as their short yardage guy.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I'd be happier than Lane Dashko eating popcorn about the Argos losing.
I love
Right.
Dustin Crum. He's such a good guy. Like,
and yet, David, exactly. You 6 years, but your Blackhawks are starting to look back. We were talking about them before both of you were at the desk. Lane was
speaking of
Dan
Blackhawks, I was
dropping ye old logs down the plumbing, but Chicago's starting to key. I'm going to call Michael Pinball Clemens on 1-800 Michael Pinball Clemens at hotmail.com. His phone number is a Hotmail email address. And I'm going to say you need to bring Dustin Crum into this organization because I still think that's a guy Toronto needs.
Maybe David can answer this question for me. I was surprised about the trade Chicago made today. Chicago traded Luke Wissel, I hope I said his name right, for a 4th-round pick to Vancouver. And I'm surprised it's kind of a selling move to me, only getting a 4th-round pick in return. And this year, he's got 4 points in 6 games. Chicago drafted him 1st overall 4 years ago. So I don't know why they got rid of a 1st overall draft pick for a 4th-round pick who's been playing good. I understand last year only had 22 points and minus 16. Year before that, 16 points, minus 29. Year before that, only 15 points.
Dan, David is not happy with you right now. Dan, shut the fart up.
Well, it's a confusing trade. It's a guy, I'll get it.
We don't deal with the West period.
Well, they did. I don't know why they did that.
5 years coming out of that crud hole. Yeah, I mean, look, Chicago's been. They had those cup runs, and they certainly are paying for. They've certainly paid for it the last few years.
The other thing I was going to say, kind of shocking, and I guess we can't talk about too much here on the TV show, but Vegas did officially sign Carter Hart for 2 years, $4 million, $2 million per year. And I'll just say, my computer's kind of going haywire here.
You're still good, Dan.
Oh, okay. I'll kind of just say this now. People will either agree or disagree with me, and that's totally fine. I don't like the signing personally. I just don't like
it either. I mean, they did what they're allowed to do. I don't like it.
He hasn't played hockey in over a year. I think it's kind of a lot of money, and the fact maybe he wasn't the one doing everything, but the fact that he didn't get help, like I know the guys involved, none of them went and got help from Minato that time. I think it was the wrong move, and I agree with Torts on this one. Torts said he would never bring anyone like that on his team, and that's why he got rid of him, which optically cost his job. But I don't know. I don't like it. I don't know why Vegas really needs it. I mean, I think it's just winning in drama to the dressing room they don't need. It kind of reminds me of the Marc-Andre Fleury situation where he played so well for the franchise and they stabbed him in the back. And I don't know. I just, it's right now Vegas has, Aiden Hill. Okay. I get he doesn't have a 900 save percentage, but, they have that Evergoy. I don't know who he, never heard of that Goy, to be honest.
They also have Samsonov, I think, don't they?
No, it's Kyle Sneed. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. Drafted by the Devils back in 2018, 5th-round pick. So I guess Vegas does need a goalie. I get it. I don't know. It just doesn't sit right with me.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the signing either, personally. Even take all the off ice, we'll just say, because we don't have enough information to really, it is what it is, and we can't really comment too much on it. But I just, even from a perspective of the guy hasn't played professional hockey in 2 years and you're taking up $2 million on your salary cap to get him, I guess you'll just dump him in the minors if he blows. But it's an interesting decision nonetheless. And David, yeah, Chicago does actually, funny enough, have one of the best, if not the best, third lines in the NHL.
Yeah,
I remember I thought you were crazy when you said they should trade Connor Bedard for Shane Pinto, but I keep picking Shane Pinto in my Tim Hortons hockey picks, and he's getting me hopefully soon a free coffee. So I can't really complain.
Was having a year of the ages. Now, mind you, he was in the gambling situation a couple years back. Got suspended 21 games, but I think
41.
Sorry, 41. My bad. I thought it was half a year. Wow.
At least it's not like the NBA gambling scandal.
Well, we don't know yet.
Is there anything new on that, by the way, or is there been any new information that's came out on the NBA?
Not really.
Not really. No. It's kind of all just magically going away.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but it's nothing new yet. I just think with, I will say, I think Shane Pinto having a second chance, I think what he did is not as bad as what the other guys did. That's what I'll say. I get that gambling is wrong, but no human being physically got harmed from it, right?
I mean, well, obviously, what's been going on in the NBA, it's just wrecking the integrity of sports. But yes, Dan, you totally get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I think we're probably at the point now where I think we'll probably wrap things up for the night. I think we've pretty much gone everything we want to go over. And quickly back into the comments before we wrap things up. Yeah, the Torts is definitely a legend, and that is basically what cost it for him in Philadelphia. He stuck with his morals, and I personally think you got to respect him for that.
I would hire him if I was had the NHL team in the Goats.
David wants you to ball out, Dan. So go get. Actually, who wants to see a video of between Dan and I, which one of us can actually hit a mid-range jump shot? Maybe a 1 hour stream, but
I'll join you guys.
There you go. The three of us. Let's go.
Lane, apparently you look sad, so we need a big smile from Lane Dashing Dashco. But thank you very much, everyone, for joining us at the Analyst Desk, where every day feels like game day. Thank you for all the likes and all the comments.
NFL Sunday, everyone, tomorrow.
Between YouTube and Facebook, we had around 95 comments on tonight's show. So thank you very much for all those comments, everyone. And the comments just keep going. Yeah, and hey, yeah, we used to play some good b-ball back in college, but David, I am probably in worse shape than I was in college, but that's okay.
Oh, 100% you are. I am too.
But thank you very much, everyone, for joining, and we are very glad, Key, that we are your favorite podcast forever.
Oh, yeah.
Even if we don't use fun slang like 6-7, bussin', whatever the cool kids say today.
Well, hey, we saw the bus today, Ticats game.
But thank you very much for catching us at the Analyst Desk, where every day feels like game day. I'm the self-proclaimed sports analyst, joined by Mr. More for Your Money.
Woo!
And Lane Dashing Dashco. And thank you, David. I've been working on slimming the figure. So thank you very much, good sir. Nice David's known me for a very, very long time now. We've become great friends over the years. But thank you very much. And hey, next time you tell Benson, tell him I say eggs make pie, but pie don't make eggs. So thank you very much for watching the show, everyone. We'll see you very, very soon at the Analyst Desk. Pre-record coming to you Monday. Big day in the NFL tomorrow, so I'm sure we'll pop in at some point. Thanks very much, everyone, and have a great night, great morning, wherever you are. We'll see you later at the desk.
Bye-bye.